my name is Andrea, and this is High Literature, a program where I introduce books and comics and art to you, the viewer. So yeah, books, comics, and art. Doing something a little different today. I have with me I just got these in the mail. Oh, the cats are out. I haven't seen Marcus in a few days, and I'm hoping that he turns up while I'm out here. But yeah, I'm a little worried. It's been a few days since I've seen old Marcus, so I hope he's okay. But I don't think I've ever done this before. I have picture books. And not just any picture books. I have The Case of the Missing Mother and The Case of the Missing Hat and The Muppets Go Camping. I'm so excited. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Ooh. These. There are more. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. This is why I can never save money. So there's more. And I really want that Great Muppet Caper. It's such a good movie. I didn't know that there was a hardcover. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on that. But yes, I saw this thing on Instagram that was apparently a page from this, and I just loved it so much. And I was like, I gotta get this book. So I go over to eBay and I searched for this book, and I saw that somebody was selling it with these two. So I was like, okay, sure. And I got all three of these. So I guess we'll start with this one, since this is what started it all. The Case of the Missing Mother. This is from 1983, the year I was born. My goodness. It was almost Mother's Day, and things were jumping at the Muppet Theater. Everyone was getting ready for the big show, the Muppets' salute to motherhood. Backstage, Miss Piggy was trying on her costume. When I was just a piglet, she recalled, my mother used to tell me, Piggy, someday you will be a star. Ah, she was so wise, so adorable, so dear, so very much like moi, in fact. There's Miss Piggy. My mom was den mother of my Cub Scout troop, said Fozzie Bear. She taught me everything I know. In fact, I learned my best jokes at my mother's knee and other joints. Waka waka. Oh my goodness. I never really thought, well, gosh. Oh, just kidding. These are the other bears in the den in the Cub Scout troop. The Cub Scout troop. Ah, I get it. Oh my god. But yeah, look. So I was like, oh my god, Fozzie Bear has siblings, but those are just other Cub Scout members. Everyone was so busy getting ready for the show that at first no one noticed what Animal was doing. Then they heard a loud crunching noise. Animal was tearing his drums apart with his teeth. Floyd Pepper, the bass player, ran over to Animal and pulled him away from his drums. "Hey man, what's the big idea?" Floyd asked. Oh my goodness, we got ourselves a Muppet splash page, y'all. Oh, buddy. Oh my god. Too much. "What's the matter with Animal today?" Kermit wanted to know. "Beats me, boss. He's been acting weird ever since we started to work on this show. It's like he just doesn't want to play the drums anymore," said Floyd. "No more drums," bellowed Animal. "But Animal, you're the best drummer we've got," said Kermit. "He's the only drummer we've got," said Floyd. Kermit looked worried. "If Animal doesn't play the drums, it'll just about kill the big final number," he said. "Kill!" screamed Animal. "Yeah," agreed Fozzie. "What's a lullaby without a drum solo?" "I'll keep my eye on him," said Floyd. "Maybe I can figure out what's bugging him." Oh, we got ourselves an... Oh, kill! I feel you, Animal. I feel you. Oh, dear. The next day, Animal disappeared. "I went to get him for rehearsal," Floyd told the others, "and he wasn't in his room. His chains were broken and the door was ripped off its hinges. I mean, Animal's out of sight, but this time he's really out of sight." My God. Oh my dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, it looks like a little sooty from Spirited Away. I mean, does it not? Look at that. It's a little city. Everyone searched the theater. There wasn't a sign of Animal anywhere. Then Janice found something suspicious. "Crumbs!" she cried out. "Sticks and stones may break our bones, but names will never hurt us," Gonzo replied. "Not you," said Janice. "Crumbs! Here on the floor." "Those aren't crumbs," said Floyd. "They're wood shavings." Kermit gasped. That was my desk." Scooter came rushing in from the alley. "Look what happened to the garbage cans," he cried. Miss Piggy shook her blonde curls. "Perhaps if we follow this trail of destruction, it will lead us to..." "Animal!" everybody shouted together. Who's this character? Peeking out of the trash can. So everyone set out in search of Animal. On and on they went, from one pile of rubble to the next, across the park and the railroad tracks, past the firehouse and the Bolorama, until they came to a long, winding road. "Memory Lane," Scooter announced, reading the street sign. Animals just laying out path of destruction. Kill! At the end of Memory Lane was a big old house. "Look," Fozzie cried, "a for sale sign." "Yeah," said Floyd Pepper, "and look who's leaning up against the for sale sign, man. My main drummer, Animal." "Mother!" Animal cried out suddenly. He stood up and lumbered off toward the house. A piece of paper fluttered from his hand. "Mother!" he moaned again as he disappeared around the corner. I think he's saying Mother. 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 Oh. Oh. Floyd picked up the piece of paper that had fallen from Animal's hand. "Animal," he read aloud as the others gathered around. "Our house is too big for me now. I move to smaller place. Don't lose this letter. If you do, you won't find me. I will be living at..." The last words were lost forever because the rest of the page had been torn off. "So that's what's going down," said Floyd. "He's lost his mother's address." "Kermit, sir, we've got to help Animal find his mother," Fozzie said. Yes, agreed Miss Piggy. After all, a boy without his mother is like a day without lipstick. Okay. Interesting. Ah, and this is the page that I saw that made me, like, start searching for this. They ran up to the house and surrounded Animal. He was ripping up the flower garden with his hands. Hey, Animal, Gonzo said, how's it going? We understand you're feeling a little depressed, added Fozzie. Animal jumped into the hole where the flowers had been. Depressed, he yelled. Animal, cried Floyd. We're here to help. Dig? Dig, Animal shouted, and he began to dig again. Aren't you lucky to have friends like us? Miss Piggy said, trying hard to ignore the dirt landing on her new purple-on-purple pumps. We're going to help you look for your mother. Mother, cried Animal, jumping out of the hole. Maybe he is saying mother. Mother, it's driving me crazy. Guess we're gonna find out. That afternoon, they rode all over town trying to find Animal's mother. They saw many mothers, but none of them looked like they belonged to Animal. Just when they were about to give up hope, Animal's eyes lit up. Drums, he cried. Not now, man, Floyd told Animal. You can play the drums later. Drums, Animal bellowed. Shh, Miss Piggy said. Listen. From the distance came the sound of drumming. Say, said Fozzie, maybe we should go where the drums are. At least he seems interested in playing again. If he played the drums, he might feel better, said Kermit, and then the show would be saved. Turn here. The sound of drums became louder and louder. Animal was jumping all over the van. Be cool, Floyd said. But Animal couldn't calm down. Drums, he kept shouting. Drums. Be cool. Tell Animal, be cool. Now the beat was louder than ever. They stopped in front of a tiny pink cottage. Inside, at the window, someone was playing the drums. At first glance, the drummer looked an awful lot like Animal, if Animal were a girl, and older, and had gray hair. In fact, it wouldn't have been too hard to imagine that the drummer inside the pink cottage was none other than Animal's Aww. Mother, Animal cried. The drumming stopped. The drummer looked out the window. Animal, she roared. Animal ran toward the window, tearing the frame apart with his bare hands. Oh my God! His mother ripped down the window from her side until she and Animal were in each other's arms. The other Muppets sniffed and wiped their eyes. Miss Piggy blew her nose loudly. There's nothing that will bring tears to the eyes like the sight of a mother and son together again, she said. Except maybe the bill they're going to get for that window, said Gonzo. You guys, oh my God, she's wearing a leather jacket. Dude, this is crazy. The case of the missing mother is like my Forgotten Mother videos about the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And this is what happens when Esmeralda and the recluse realize they're each other's mother and daughter and reunite. They rip like the bars from the window of her cell. There's even this line Victor Hugo writes about how, phenomenal the strength of a mother can be. This is crazy. Wow. Well, the next day was Mother's Day. The Muppet Salute to Motherhood was a huge success, and the drummers in the final number brought down the house. One was a familiar face. Animal bellowed, and the other was new. Laverne, Animal's mother roared. The audience loved them. They applauded wildly, and Animal played the drums better than he'd ever played before. Brought down the house. That's awesome. It makes me think of Burning Down the House, the Talking Heads song. And I remember reading somewhere that David Byrne was inspired to do that song after going to a George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic show. And after the show was over, he heard somebody in the crowd as everybody was leaving that they were burning down the house. And David Byrne was like, burning down the house. He just thought that sounded really cool and made that song. And speaking of the Parliament Funkadelic, if you have never seen The Muppets from Space, it's amazing. And it's also like parentally, like, has parental themes. Gonzo is sad like Animal because he feels so alone and has no family. He's just he's this weirdo, and Muppets from Space is all about Gonzo trying to find his family, and it makes me cry and it makes me laugh. It's so good, and the music, of course, is awesome, and you should totally watch it. And with that being said, I'm going to... Oh, no, Marcus! Where is he? I have to bring this to an end. I have a lot to do tonight. I got to go to work for my second job, and I have to put some stuff ready with the house because I have visitors this weekend. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, and let's see. Yeah, with that being said, gosh, yeah, this is going to be the last video for a little while because I'm going to be busy. They're going to be getting here tomorrow at 6 in the morning, and they will be here till Sunday. So I guess I will see you guys on Muppet Monday. All right, bye.